Okay, now we've got a piece of wood mounted between centres. We're going to use the preparation tool to cut some coves. You may of course prefer to use a spindle gouge for this, but this will do an equal and adequate job. I'm holding the tool this way so that you can see it on the camera more easily, but use a hold that's comfortable for you. I'm working about on the centre line, cutting a little bit at a time, working from side to side, and once again I'm imagining the shape of the cutter in the wood and the cove that I'm cutting. Let's try that for size. Let's see how that is for size. That looks okay to me. And remember, we're cutting with the top left hand part of the sphere and pressing hard into the edge of the wood, leaving space for the pattern not to be breaking out on the top of the cut. We need to lower the tool rest and again reduce the speed of the lathe to about 800 RPM. Let's give it a go. Hold it in there for a little longer than you think necessary, pressing hard. And there's our lovely texture and pattern within the cove. So really we're still texturing on end grain here as well as side grain to give us the best technique. So we're going to remove some of these little fibres that have risen up once again with the natural bristle brush. I'm going to increase the lathe speed a little for this and burnish. That improves the finish. Okay, now if we want we can move further on and enhance it. We can use the point tool, and in addition to that we can once again use some colour if we want. So I'm going to drop the tool rest a little bit. And once again we can use the brush to knock off the fibres. One of the advantages of using the point tool is that it gives us this lovely crisp cut next to our design. Look at the detail on the end of this decoration. It's absolutely clean and crisp, and that is a really great thing about this tool. Remember, we're still working below centre. Okay, so that fits nicely. But just as a reminder, we've left plenty of wood between the two coves, just so that we don't bring the cutting edges together and cause breakout at the top. I've left lots of wood between the two, and suggest when you're first practicing the tool that you do similar until you get used to using it. Different timbers will give slightly different results. The harder the timber, the smaller this gap will need to be, but you'll find that out by experimentation. That looks good. Right, this time I'm going to cut on these two faces so you can see from the camera angle, and I'm going to have the tool raised up in the air for that face and bring it down near the centre for that face. Once again, mustn't forget, lower the tool rest. That looks about right. Okay, reduce the lathe speed, off we go. Press hard. Now let's come down to the next one. You can hear the difference. Remember, we are cutting into the wood, not impressing it. So there's a very visible difference between the two angles. It's a very shallow spiral on this side and a much sharper one on that side. It's infinitely variable really. Now once again we can punctuate either side of the pattern with the point tool. And again, beautiful, crisp, clean edge on the end of these feathers, if you want to call them. What a great design. How's that for detail? Fantastic.